Welcome back. Now, the startup bus has been moving from Harare in Zimbabwe to Cape Town in South Africa. It's carrying people who are pitching various IT business ideas. Let's take a look.
I wanna be on the startup bus so freaking bad. Try all the ideas I've ever had. I wanna be on the cover of Inc. magazine.
The selected 30 participants will have a vast mix of backgrounds and will be selected from hundreds of applications. We connect and develop experts from 3 disciplines: engineering, design, and business.
These broad young entrepreneurs from Africa and the rest of the world will be focusing on the development of startups in 3 sectors: mobile, healthcare, and energy. Our tour will kick off in Harare, Zimbabwe, and we'll be going via Johannesburg and Bloemfontein to Cape Town.
There used to be one of us when I'm on the startup bus.
Now, joining us from Cape Town is Stuart Minnaar, who is a South African tech entrepreneur and is also part of the Startup Bus organizing team. Also joining us is Jabulani Mpofu, the co-founder of NeoLab, operating out of Zimbabwe. Gentlemen, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having us, Ibrele.
Now, Stuart, starting with you, what exactly is the idea behind Startup Bus?
The idea behind Startup Bus is, it's quite simple. We take a bus and we fill it with entrepreneurs to travel through a few countries with the intention to come up with an idea to solve any form of issue. And en route, they come up with the idea, and by the end of the trip, they have a launchable startup.
Now, who is on the bus and how are they selected?
It was quite a rigorous process. We had about close to 200 applications, which we had to narrow down to 30 entrepreneurs, 13 of which were from all over the world, and 17 were from Africa. And what we're looking for were people with skills in designing or developing or had some experience as being part of a startup to come up with any kind of idea to solve 3 issues in Africa: healthcare, mobile, or energy.
Now, Jabulani, you were inside the bus. So what were your experiences there?
The bus was phenomenal. It's one of the best, experiences I've had since I have started as a startup. We get to interact with some of the brightest minds across the world. I mean, my team in particular, we had Herman from India, we had 2 guys from Germany, we had a guy from Austria, the United States, and myself from Zimbabwe. It was just amazing. It was high power, active, and high caffeine, very caffeinated. We barely slept for 3 days.
What's NeoLab, Jabulani?
NeoLab is a tech startup that is mostly focusing on optimizing workflows and integrating technology into project management for agile teams in Zimbabwe. You see, we have so many project management tools off of the internet, Basecamp and the likes, but they are not built within the context of Africa, our low bandwidth, and the fact that people work in such remote areas. So what basically we're doing is we're developing project management systems that take in place that context so that teams can collaborate and manage their workflows more easily over the internet.
And what did we pick up from your other team members?
What did we?
What did you personally pick up from your team members?
What personally I picked up from my team members is idea of how to think of a design of the idea of formulating an idea. We learned this process which we call design thinking, in which we're just going in there, we're just free roaming and coming up with an idea. I learned about how to structure ideas more logically for market ready from some of the business guys on the team. I learned about how to communicate your ideas more efficiently, how to get information and set up partners from some of the more international business guys that were on the team. And basically I learned a whole lot of stuff about how to structure myself as a business, because mostly I come from a developer programmer background. So now getting all this input on how to think of technology and startups and programming and products in a more of a business mindset than purely from a product point of view.
All right, Stuart. Jabulani mentioned that there were people from India, so it's not limited to Africans, is it?
No, it's not limited to Africans at all. The intention was just to have the bus travel through Africa, but we had people from India, Austria, Australia, Germany, the UK, the US, and the intention is to mix entrepreneurs that come from different backgrounds, because in that mixture, there's magic that pops through in solving problems.
All right. Tell us about that magic and what you found in the past and what you're finding now.
I think what the guys managed to do on a bus over 5 days, to come up with solutions for big issues in a very short space. I was very impressed with the quality of the ideas and businesses that have come up through the process. And I think it's a common thing if you put entrepreneurs into a room and you plant a problem in the middle. The minds just take on a whole different kind of thinking to come up with a solution.
All right, Stuart Minaro, Startup Bus organizing team member, and Jabulani Mpofu, who's a co-founder of NeoLab operating out of Zimbabwe. Thank you very much for joining us on Network.
Thanks very much for having us.
All right, so here's what's been happening in social media. Orlando